Alright, so welcome to the first video here on Flying Fluffy Football. If you've been a fan of Flying Fluffy, the hockey channel, you know we clap. So, welcome to the first video. Alright, we've got picks today. Before we get started, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Monday, I will be live streaming the entire Patriots-Bills game, Monday Night Football, to kind of kick things off. This is just to ease things in. Alright? This is going to be a football channel. It's not going to be super Dolphin-centric because the Dolphins are the Dolphins. I will wear the Dolphins jerseys, and I will have Dolphins recaps, but I can't have recaps until they lose again because I was doing the recaps, and then when they stopped, they started winning. So until the Dolphins lose a game, there will be no recaps on this channel for the Dolphins. Now, let's get into this week's picks. We've got some interesting takes. All right, Colts versus the Texans. Look, Colts are desperate. They're trying to make the playoffs. They're not going to make the playoffs. But they're going to win this game 24-10. Wentz versus Tyrod, it's a pretty easy call. It's a pretty easy call. Vikings versus the Lions. Well, since this is the first video on this new channel, I'm gonna pick the Lions to get their first victory. 18-13 over the Vikings. And look, the Lions have been in how many close games? The last one against the Vikings was pretty damn close. They're going to win a game. It's in Detroit. Do you really trust Minnesota that much? They're going to win a game. Somewhere they're going to win a game. This is it. The Giants and the Dolphins. I got 33-17 Dolphins. Why? Well, because there's still this one group of Dolphin fans that think they're going to run the table and make the playoffs. And even if I believed that they were going to get to 9-7, which is not entirely impossible, even if I could convince myself of that, they play the Patriots the last game of the season. And if anybody thinks the Dolphins are beating the Patriots with the playoffs on the line, No, where have you been the last 25 years? No is the answer to that question. Another prediction for that game is Tua will go 29 of 33 for 116 yards, averaging about 2 yards a carry, and everybody will post statistics about how his percentage of completions is worthy of a trip to the Hall of Fame already. Let me know when he has to consistently throw over about 12 yards. Then we'll talk. Next game on the list is the Buccaneers and the Falcons. Matt Ryan in the last 5 games has been combined under 1,000 yards. 36-20 Buccaneers. I know they've been struggling, but it's the Falcons. This is not... The miracle is Atlanta scoring 20 points. All right? We'll just leave it at that. Next game. All right. Eagles versus the Jets. If Hurts is not hurt, I've got 19-17 Eagles. If Gardner Minshew plays, reverse the score. Just reverse the score. Now the Jets could win this game, and I know it's in New York. I know one bad Steve's going to be a little bit pissy that I picked against them. But the Eagles are desperately clinging to imaginary playoff hopes, and the Jets are not. Moving on, we've got the Cardinals and the Bears. The Cardinals are going to be such a boring Super Bowl champion. They're just boring. We don't know if Murray's going to play. Dalton is playing. I've got 24-13 cards. And the cards are just boring. There's nothing there. The Cardinals. I felt the same way for years about the St. Louis Cardinals, the baseball team. It's not a sports name. It should not be a name of a sports team. The Ravens. That's when you see a Raven. Oh, a Raven. When you see a Cardinal, it's like, ooh, a Cardinal. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Next game. Chargers against the Bengals. Hot take, the winner of this game makes the playoffs. 30-24 Bengals. Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon is going to make the difference because he's on my fantasy team and he's carrying me to a 4th place finish right now. Yeah, but I'm in the playoffs. And so will Cincinnati. Next game up is Rams versus the Jags. Matthew Stafford against a bad team. We all have seen this movie before, haven't we? 40-10 Rams. They break the losing streak. Not much to say there. Sorry, Jags. You guys got work to do. All right. Washington against the Raiders. Team with no name versus the team with no hope. But it's time for some false hope, Raiders fan. 28-27 Raiders. And will the potato skins please get a name? I mean, the absurdity. We have now gone, what is this? This is the second season as at least the second, as the Washington football team. And everybody says it. Like, it's the perfect example of how people can be programmed to say the most absurdly stupid things if their paycheck depends upon it. All of the sports announcers will just let the football team roll off their tongue like it's the Jets or the Giants or the Dolphins. It's stupid. Everybody saying it knows it's stupid. And why would anybody have the guts to say, this is stupid? I can say it because there's no paycheck. There's no paycheck. It's just me and my puppets. So I live in the area that's considered Baltimore Ravens territory. I live on the other side of the bay, and we've got the Ravens and the Steelers. And I heard something the other day on the radio station that was the most obligatory, again, stupid thing I've ever read about sports teams. And it was the morning announcer giving the sports updates, and he was talking about how Monday night the Ravens play the Steelers. And not only is it an important game because it's between two divisional opponents with playoff hopes, but it's also important because both franchises are the model of consistency. And it was so abundantly clear that somebody wrote this type for him and has never, spent 30 seconds watching a sporting event. Because nobody that watches football would discuss and describe a football game as important because of both franchises being a model of consistency. It's like some intern wrote the type. 23-21 Steelers. Why? Because, do you trust the Ravens? Do you Baltimore fans, I'm looking at you, do you really trust the Ravens to win this? You don't. You don't. You don't, I don't, nobody does. And do you trust Big Ben to just go away? No. He's going to cling on, all right? He's going to cling on as long as he can, and this is one more week he can cling on. 23-21 Steelers. Next game, 49ers versus Seattle. Russell Wilson, another quarterback who in the last 5 games has not totaled 1,000 yards. Meanwhile, Garoppolo looks better than most Dolphins quarterbacks have looked the last 20-something years. 23-14 49ers. Now, I know this game is in Seattle. 49ers have playoff hopes. The Seahawks do not. Any other year, this would be almost a no-brainer for Seattle, but this team is rebuilding. Let's just be nice and kind about it. They're rebuilding. And when I was researching this game, I saw an article asking if Russell Wilson would be the perfect fit for the Giants. It's never good. It's never good when the quarterback hits one side of 30 and they start talking about him. Would he be good for some other team? Because we're not so happy with him here. All right, the next game up is the Chiefs and the Broncos. Every single team on the Chiefs' remaining schedule is either in a playoff spot right now or is tied or one game away. Most of them, I think it was only one team that's not in a playoff spot right now. So the Chiefs are going to have to earn it. said, this is in Kansas City, 26-19 Chiefs. It's the same thing as the game before. Do you trust Broncos to win this game? No, you don't. Last game of the week. This is the one I will be live streaming this entire game. Patriots versus the Bills. Now, as a Dolphins fan, this pains me because I have to root for one team. I'm going to have to call this game as though I want somebody to win. And with memories of year after year after year of the Bills beating the crap out of Marino's Dolphins, not going to the Super Bowl, and then year after year after year of Brady's Patriots, we know what happened there. Huh. Who do you root for? Well, I'm going to make that easy. The Patriots in the last 4 games have outscored their opponents 130-26. Patriots are going to win this game. 38-35. There will be no defense. There will be no defense. It will be a fun game. I will have no voice by the end of the game. And the only thing I'm rooting for here is no overtime. Please. It's already going to be a 4-hour stream. Just no overtime. Somebody make the kick, miss the kick. 38-35 Patriots. That's got to be the score. And, when the Bills lose and the Dolphins win, we can play the imaginary game because the Dolphins will actually only be 2 games. And Karen sneezes. 2 games behind the Bills. And that will do it for this week's picks. I appreciate everybody who watches. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, please. This is my trophy. In case you're new, this is my trophy. I wear the trophy, the clock, the hat. Huh? My buddy Stu said I should display this stuff. Last year, as a Florida Panthers fan, I won the Upper Deck Fan MVP contest to represent the Panthers league-wide. I don't think anything like that's coming for me for the Dolphins because every time I go on Dolphins Twitter, I have to get off really fast. Really fast. You either want to have your babies or you're an evil death spawn. Those are the 2 options that you have on Dolphins Twitter. I stay away. And after we win this week, there's going to be some more delusion about how we can make the playoffs because we're somehow going to beat the Patriots the last week of the season. You poor people who believe that that's going to happen. I'm sorry.